Should Graves return in multiplayer on War? Nah, he stinks. Get out of here. Okay, fine, let's do this properly. So Graves, he seemed like a fun boss to be around with actually. I wouldn't have minded if I was Shadow Company and every time he gives an order I go, yup yup. Because who the fuck says yup yup when you're giving an order? I would expect something more like Roger, or Sir, or Hoorah, or something like that. But no, they go, yup yup. That's so endearing, I'm gonna be honest. Shadow Company seemed like they were fine guys at the beginning. I mean, in the AC-130 mission, Graves is literally like, TF141, Los Vaqueros, you're brothers now, treat them like your own. I hate you so much, Graves. Because I was like, oh yes, these guys are with us for now. That's awesome. And he even has these small moments with like, well, not so much Ghost, but he has more moments with Soap. Even in Dark Water, for example, when they are done with the mission, he has like this very short bro moment with Soap. Only to immediately after that betray us in front of Alejandro's base. And that moment, man, that moment.
This is a sizable covert facility, and I admire it. So I'm taking. You boys have been relieved. Thank you for your service.
No. I don't take orders from you.
Didn't Valeria say that? Now that makes me wonder what else I don't know about your affiliation with the drug lord.
What the fuck did you just say to me, pendejo?
With lying Graves.
Don't do that. Don't do that. No one needs to get hurt here.
Are you threatening us?
Soldier, I don't make threats. I make guarantees. So let's not do this.
I'm calling Shepard.
General Shepard sends his regards. He told me y'all wouldn't take this well.
He knows about this.
He's put me in command of this operation from here on out. So y'all need to stand down. It's time to let the pros finish this. And why the hell are we talking like this is some kind of negotiation? It's not. I've got my orders. And now you have yours.
And who the fuck do you think you are, cabrón? My men are inside!
I'm afraid not. Your men have been detained.
That put me over the edge. I was furious and I wanted his head for what he had done. I'm sorry, but I don't deal well with betrayal. Not of this kind. This man deserves to be buried alive. Or something like this. The thing about Graves is that he feels like the most personal villain in this campaign. So to talk about the other three villains, Shepard, I mean, he's the guy that had Graves betray us in the first place. The problem is that it doesn't feel as personal to him. He really betrays us over the phone, essentially, and Bryce threatens to go after him, but the urgent matter to attend is Graves at that point, not Shepard. And then Shepard just goes dark and we don't see him ever again until he shows up back again at some point. Valeria, I mean, everybody's simping for Valeria, myself included. I'm not gonna say anything negative about her right now. I think she was actually quite a fun villain to be around as well. She was clearly the villain from the start. She gives literally no fucks about anybody. She'll kill you on sight if you piss her off. And then having this sort of secret story with Alejandro, yeah, that was also pretty interesting. There's a lot more backstory that I hope that we get at some point. Maybe in the DLC campaign. And then Hassan, honestly, Hassan is barely even there. And some people say that Valeria is behaving like a bitch this whole time. To me, Hassan behaves more like a bitch than Valeria because of how he just treats everybody else around him. He's not even threatening. He's very pathetic, actually. So yeah, I don't like Hassan at all. I don't think he was a very compelling villain. And it pisses me off that he was actually the final villain of this whole thing. I have some ideas on how Graves could have been the final villain instead of Hassan. So what I was thinking is that maybe we go after Hassan first. Because let's say, for example, that Graves was transporting Valeria in her container to a different location, completely hidden, so that if his new base gets raided, then they can't find Valeria, and only Shadow Company hasn't gotten information out of her, so that they can be the heroes in stopping the missile before it strikes, what was it, Chicago, I think. But, of course, not allow TF141 or Los Vaqueros or anybody else to get that information out of her. So, transporting her to a secret location, but somehow TF141 finds out that this is happening, so a mission could have been to rescue Valeria from Shadow Company, which could have used similar mechanics to this highway chase mission that we had with Vyra. We could have a similar type of mission at night, for example, and rescue Valeria from Shadow Company. Then we get information out of her, then we go on what was the actual final mission. We go, stop Hassan, stop the missile, and now the final stake is personal vendetta against Graves. So now that we stopped Hassan, we can go take back the base of Los Vaqueros and, well, get Shadow Company out of the picture for now, and specifically Graves. But it would have been, I think, a much better payoff if he was the last person to be dealt with in this campaign instead of Hassan. Because, yeah, I'll be honest, for as much as I love this campaign with all my heart, the final mission, the very final moment in the campaign did feel a little bit anticlimactic. Because I just didn't care for Hassan in any way, shape, or form. He was just there, we dealt with him, and that was it. But when we killed Graves, when we killed quote-unquote Graves, I felt a lot better. I actually felt like we did accomplish something there. Like I said, it felt more personal. And I enjoy when personal stakes are dealt with in this manner, and when they're dealt with at the very end. When, you know, you're saving the best for last at that point. The raid on the Fuerzas Especiales base felt also more like a final mission than the mission where we kill Hassan. So yeah, there's that. I think that's my main criticism of this campaign, and that's why I rated it an 8 out of 10. It's not a 9, it's not a 10, it's not perfect, it's not literal perfection, but man, was it a good campaign. With some possible fixes here and there, it could have been even better, but it is what it is. We got what we got, and I'm still happy with it. Nevertheless, the reason why people say that Graves can return in the future is because in his boss fight, he's not really reacting to your actions when you start blowing up his tank with the C4. He just keeps shit-talking to Soap, and a little bit to Rodolfo, but he's not really saying anything, or he's not really commenting or reacting at all to, you know, his tank is getting damaged, and he might actually die in this whole thing. But the way I saw it when I was playing, in all my 3 playthroughs of this, was his ego is so high at this point. He's literally in the clouds with how high his ego took him, that he doesn't care. He's so convinced that he's actually going to kill Soap and Rodolfo because he's in a literal tank against 2 soldiers. Like, of course he's gonna kill them, right? But he doesn't quite pull it off, and he dies for it. But not even like moments before actually dying. Like at the 3rd C4 you would expect him to react or say something, but he just keeps shit talking to us, and that's the weird part. So what people are suggesting, which is an idea that I do believe could happen, is that he was piloting the tank remotely and he wasn't really there. So the tank blew up, communication was completely cut off, but Graves wasn't there, so he's not dead and he can come back at any point. Which, yeah, for as much as I want him very, very dead and buried, he could possibly come back. But again, I deal with betrayal so poorly that I'm really gonna have a personal vendetta against any one of y'all who used his skin in multiplayer when he does come out. So be ready, I'm gonna target your ass. So yeah, if I'm not missing anything, that's it for now then. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. Also, die once again, Graves.